Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening. How on a day? How on a day? Some of you have sent me a message say why I know they sometimes converse on my programs with Pidgin English. It's not that I lack I do not have the ability to speak Pidgin, but I can also do that. Anyway, so good evening, everyone. This evening, we're going to be looking at something very, very interesting, which is why do you think that the poor tend to defend their oppressors? Why do you think that the poor tend to defend their oppressors? Sorry, I forgot. Why do the poor tend to defend their oppressors? A case in point is what is happening now in Kogi, where a former governor who was accused of commingling about either 43 or 48 billion. That's an accusation, allegedly. Now, rather than the poor to troop to the street with stones, shovels, and all the adjoining instrument of brain resetting, the poor would troop out in a rich neighborhood to defend the one who has stolen them blind. In these um, Arise Morning show this morning, where the team reviewed this, when I watched it, I thought to myself, this is really sad because this is a nation where someone has won an election, was supposed to account for every single penny spent. Now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission says, come, you have questions to answer. He goes to court, gets a court injunction to stop him from answering questions. Now, EFCC has said they have declared him wanted. Yet, the same EFCC were the ones that couldn't arrest him yesterday. I mean, that's a nation of absurdity. Let's listen to this.
State, Usman Ododo, has come under heavy criticism on social media after he prevented the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission from arresting his predecessor, Yahaya Bello. On Wednesday, the anti-graft agency had laid siege at the Abuja residence of Yahaya Bello in a bid to arrest him over alleged money laundering charges. But in an unprecedented move, Ododo arrived at Bello's residence a few hours after the siege and whisked his predecessor away. Well, let's take a look before we take some reactions.
Now, you see how silly this is. The people you're looking at here are the poor. Many of these individuals you see on this video cannot in their lifetime, not even if they had to live their life twice, they would never be able to afford even a BQ in this neighborhood. Yet, they troop out in mass. Gladys Oyabo, thank you very much for joining us from New York. Thank you. You are acknowledged. Now, you can imagine that these people, rather than go there with the instrument of, you understand what I mean? They wouldn't. And look at them, just watch in that car is the current governor, Ododo. You know, the one that said that he's a woman when he was during the campaign. the one that couldn't lace two sentences together. The one that when on the 29th of May, when he was sorry, not 29th of May, I think two months ago thereabout, when he was being sworn in, he created the office of ex-governor. It appears he never in his wildest dream ever dreamt of becoming a governor, and because this guy made him a governor, he became a stooge. Have you ever heard where someone will make an argument that I am a sitting governor, therefore I can transfer my immunity to an ex-governor? If you ever heard of anything, silly, stupid, idiotic, all rammed and jammed and squeezed into one, well, you may be experiencing one here before you, honestly.
Well, social media has been awash with reactions. This seems like a movie, doesn't it? Well,
obviously, that's the reason why I titled this, Why Do We Defend, why do the poor defend the rich? The rich, they have taken that which belonged to you, raped your family, abused the female members in your house, literally, or rather figuratively speaking. Rather than you to really stand up and say this is not with capital rejectamento, that this should not happen again or this should not happen. Rather, they troop out, they be mobilized to come out to defend that person that has stolen from them.
Anti-graft agency, in a statement on Wednesday, condemned the actions of the Kogi state governor. Their statement reads in part, "The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission wishes to warn members of the public that it is a criminal offense to obstruct officers of the Commission from carrying out their lawful activities. Section 38 of the EFCC established Act makes it an offense to prevent officers of the Commission from carrying out their lawful duties. Culprits risk a jail term of not less than 5 years. This warning becomes necessary against the background of the increasing tendency by persons and groups under investigation by the Commission to take laws into their hands by recruiting thugs to obstruct lawful operations of the EFCC. The Commission therefore warns that it will henceforth not tolerate any attempt by any person or organization to obstruct its operation. As such, will be met with appropriate punitive actions." Dr. Bati, I don't know who the EFCC is referring to as thugs, but I thought that statement was very apt at the time. Obviously, they were referring to the incident that occurred yesterday. I believe that Yahaya Bello will be arraigned today. But let me just take some more reactions before I come to you, Dr. Abati. This is from Collins, who wrote, "It is outrageous that those in positions of power would brazenly obstruct the operations of a law enforcement agency tasked with fighting corruption. This blatant disregard for the rule of law only serves to perpetuate a culture of impunity and undermines the credibility of our justice system. Governor Ododo must be held accountable for his actions, and anyone else complicit in obstructing the EFCC's operation should face severe consequences, including the risk of jail time. Justice must prevail. #corruption, rule of law." Dr.
So when you listen to this, then the question you ask yourself, like I said at the beginning, is if you haven't stolen anything, if you haven't done any evil, why are you using everything, every arsenal within your powers, within your reach, to do and to obviously run away from being prosecuted? The question is why? Why is this happening? Why are you running away from your shadows? Right? If you go online now, they have issued obviously this warrant of arrest to say anywhere you see him now. So please, if you are in Abuja, because me, I have jackpot from Abuja. I'm no longer in Abuja, but if you are in Abuja, and if there is any way you can see him, please contact me so that we'll run it. If we run it, we'll share money. This is, if we now check the Twitter, the Twitter street now, everyone, that is what is trending this afternoon, or rather, a couple of hours ago. Yahaya Bello, blah blah blah, is now trending, right? If you go to EFCC, you have seen here the EFCC have actually issued this information here to say Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has declared him wanted, and it reads, the public is hereby notified that Yahaya Bello, former governor of Kogi State, whose photograph appears here above, is wanted. sorry. Whose photograph appeared here is wanted. Now, you see the thing, the cocoa here, the one, the sound that will make you want to go gaga. Let me see if I can make it bolder so you understand the cocoa. Look at what the EFCC wrote here. I read again. Sorry, I take that again. It says, whose photograph appears above is wanted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in connection with alleged case of money laundering to the tune of 80.24647 whatever, just 80.2 billion. 80.2 billion, 80 billion 256 million 470,089 naira. Yahaya Bello is 48, old, from Ibiran land, and is a native of Okene, local government area of Kogi State. His last known street is number 9 Benghazi Street, Wuse 4, Abuja. So they are giving you his coordinate, saying that the last place they saw him is this place. That quickly, if you see him, please, let's now do deal. If you know anyhow we can see Yahaya Bello, please, nítorí Ọlọ́run, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, I beg you, Mutani, Akoi currency, we need money. So let's start looking for him. Let's start looking for him, please. Let's share the money. Share the money.
Of the 1999 Constitution, which says you enjoy immunity. Mm-hmm. The moment you are no longer in office, that Section 308 does not apply. So you cannot say because you occupied a certain position, you cannot be investigated or prosecuted. Number 3 is that the immunity granted under Section 308 is not transferable. And that applies to Usman Ododo. So when people say it was Governor Ododo who granted immunity to his predecessor, no, there's no such thing. You cannot transfer immunity. But
but you see, in Nigeria, those things that any other reasonable human being would hear, listen, and puke are the things that are order of the day in Nigeria. Have you ever heard you are the one that enjoys immunity? Then okay, if he's going to transfer the immunity, then he's going to be transferred to go and answer for the man who has been accused of 80.2 billion. For Christ's sake, guys, this guy's not even get shame. 80.2 billion. There was this governor in the southeast, former governor of a state, one of those young chaps that came in 1999. He governed the state, the only governor from the southeast that was eventually sent to Kirikiri. And, before the election, some APC abracadabra, in line with what the former APC chairman Adams Oshomole said, that whenever you join the party, your sins are forgiven. What happened? This man in question, you know whom I'm talking about. The man in question eventually was released from prison. Yet he stole the state about 7 billion of that state money. Those he has impoverished with the commingling of their resources waited for him at the Imo airport. When he left Lagos, landed at Imo airport, they brought women group dancing to give him a hero's welcome. There was one within the Niger Delta. Nigeria could not arrest him. But one thing led to the other. He fled Nigeria and was caught in the UK. He served jail term in the UK. When he came back, the people of that place came out in their hundreds and thousands and threw a party that their hero is back. Those you should be going to the quarries and sharpening your stones. Make sure your stones have edges. Waiting for them and how to welcome them with stones. No. That's when I say the poor are actually protecting those that abuse them. Now, to take it this way, what are the first instances in the southeast? We had that in the south. Benue is in the north central. I mean, it's east, southwest, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Those that we ought to be stoning, those we ought to be stoning are those that we ought to stone. Those that have stolen from us, those that we ought to be stoning are those that Paul will come to defend, even when they have abused you, abused the next generation. That's where we are. They abuse even the next generation.
The stories in the papers is that, he was the one that took the former governor out of his house. Number 4 here is the point being made by the EFCC that under section, is it 38 of the Establishment Act, you cannot obstruct the work of the EFCC. In fact, it's not only the EFCC or the law enforcement agencies. Otherwise, you'll be guilty of resisting arrest or, obstructing the course of justice. That's that, about the principles. Now, the legal part. The other part of it is that, the former governor of Kogi State and the EFCC, they've been having a running battle in the courts of law. There was a 2015, early 2016 case, which was before Yahaya Bello assumed office, alleging that he was involved in the mismanagement of 84 billion. And you recall that the Kogi State government issued statements and went to court to say, no, Yahaya Bello was not even governor at the time they said he had a hand in it, and that how could he have mismanaged resources that he had no access to? So they were having back and forth there. So I think there was a case in court which the Kogi State government instituted, asking for an injunction, restraining the EFCC from investigating, arresting, or arraigning, former Governor Yahaya Bello. Now, Kogi State government got that injunction, but the EFCC immediately asked for the vacation of that injunction.
Now, can you imagine that? A government in the same country where you have a person that says that they've won the election, right? There are times that you have the moral burden to actually say, wait a minute, what is happening? You see, there are times that you begin to miss President Olusegun Obasanjo. Because in this case, Baba would have put his feet down and say, what arrant nonsense are you guys doing? But here, no. Anyway, he's a lame dog, by the way. I mean, he told us he's a woman, so we don't know whether he meant it in real, or is he Bob Riskin or Bob the Risky version of Kogi. We don't know. These are what I mean. That's what he said, But it's quite crazy, to be honest with you.
But at the higher court, at the Court of Appeal, now that matter was to be determined April 22. So the Yahaya Bello camp is now saying, look, if there is a pending matter, the purpose of the injunction is, okay, return to status quo antebellum and allow the court, to determine the suit before you can proceed.
It's allowed to the court to determine. But even if you ask the one there in the Asa in the rock, if he wants to intervene, uh, we haven't even asked him, and he's already telling us, he's not going to intervene. So what it means that the macabre dance, the dance of the whatever, is going to continue.
I think the EFCC again went to court ahead of the April 22 when that matter will be determined to get a permission from the leave of court to again arraign Governor Yahaya Bello. So you have all of these issues. Now the more embarrassing part of it is that on both parts, we have seen conflicting orders, from Federal High Court in Abuja, High Court of Lokoja, and all kinds of interpretations. It's very simple. One High Court that has coordinate jurisdiction cannot act as an appellate court over the other. So they have all of that legal logjam.
Yeah.
Now, I said operational, the concern of the manner of operation of the EFCC. So the question people will ask is that, what is this all about? Yeah. If you have invited a man and he's saying you have cases in court, I mean, the EFCC also has lawyers who can take on the matter, not in a Hollywood-like manner.
The people that invaded the arrest, that assisted Ododo, were they DSS officials? And could they be arrested? That's the question out there.
Now, this is where you talk about government fighting against itself. Government fighting against itself. In fact, there are people that when you now say, actually, can you give us a definition of what is happening? There will be virtually.
Today, I want to declare without equivocation. Sorry, please.
See, he's going to declare without equivocation. But in this case, there is nothing to equivocate, because the whole point here is that this is impunity that has one boxers, one half shimmy, dressed up with makeup and foundations on the street of Abuja, walking. Impunity. Because this is not the first time. It has happened before. And as it is, the poor keep aiding them. Imagine if these things are happening, rather the people standing there are standing with sharpened stones. And maybe some red stuff begin to drip from some people's head. They may begin to understand this, but no, not in this manner.
No. What I'm saying is that Usman Ododo came there as a visitor.
I know.
Covered by Section 308 because he's a sitting governor.
But who aided, who helped him have,
No, he had access. The EFCC will not have studied. It was not the one they were looking for.
Right.
But after the fact, they are now saying, he's not covered. You cannot obstruct the arrest of a person because he left the place with, former governor. If the EFCC had tried to stop him, then that would have made the whole thing so messy. That's why I say, in terms of operation, there are operational questions that the EFCC must worry about. Finally, the politics of it. Does this have anything to do with the politics of the APC? Because you recall that there have been...
Whoa, Abate. We know these things and what they mean. There might be, there is this national chairmanship crisis that people have said that it has connection to it. It has connection to politics. But there is still one thing before we bring in any politics or anything. There is one thing that is very clear, that must be cleared. We are talking about 80.2 billion. I do not care. And no Nigerian should actually care the politics of it because of the money involved. Then let's clear the money and talk about, when we want to prove somebody, must it be done because of politics? No, now we should have gone beyond past this. Anyway, what do you expect? Didn't Buhari tell us that this was going to happen? Did you not?
ABC, Nigeria, from top to bottom.
Well, that's Buhari there. The APC, they are working assiduously in high spirit to ensure that Nigeria comes from top to bottom.
In
Me, I don't even know when we are in top ever. But anyway, let's assume and pretend that we are once at the top. So let's come down in that case, right? So
some
let's
insinuations
round up with
that
this.
Yahaya Bello wants to be a minister, Yahaya Bello wants to be chairman of the party, and then, of course, the bigger part of it is that the EFCC has just gone back to court to amend their charges, to change the dates. So it's like there is also a very new case. So it's a very serious entanglement. But, former Governor Yahaya Bello also does not want to put himself in an embarrassing situation whereby, EFCC will declare him wanted and, he'll be under pressure, to present himself.
But, well, in the morning, you guys were still talking about he doesn't want to. But now he has been officially declared wanted. I mean, there is no two ways about it. You can see that, Glenn here, that's from EFCC. He has been declared wanted. Therefore, if you're watching me and you know where he is, there is money to be made here. So blow the whistle and collect your percentage. Blow the whistle. So if you're from Kogi and you have some whistle in your pocket, by means of knowing where he is, blow the whistle and make some
because they can keep going to court, until the matter is cleared up.
We have so many
because we have professors. So I think you've talked about the legalese. Yeah, we can go ad nauseum. I mean, the Kogi State, when Yahaya Bello was even governor, then the Kogi State governor has even replied and saying the timeline for what they said he had done, it was even before he became governor. I think he officially resumed in January 2016 and all of that. And there's been back and forth, and they're supposed to hear the case on the 22nd, like you said rightly. But 22nd of April. But for me, the part I want to talk about is the operational procedure. I mean, if you have invited a man, why don't you wait for the man to come? All right? Or when you go effect arrest, do not have this Nollywood-styled shenanigan that goes on when you go to effect arrest. And also, the operational procedure that governors feel they have the right to come in with their own immunity to be able to bail somebody out. This has happened in the case of, I think, Nunia. We talked about it.
We talked about that.
This has happened also in the case of, if you remember, I think Justice Odili in Abuja. That also happened. In those two cases, it was Governor Wike that went out there. Also, this also shenanigan, not in the case of Nini and what's it called now, and Justice Odili, but in the case of Okorocha, that his ceiling was broken into just to be able to pull him out, that was being streamed on national TV. I think to a large extent, EFCC needs to be able to sort out its operational procedure right. And secondly, EFCC, whoever is don't make it a blanket. What is it called? Is it me that went to exercise immunity? No.
That's what you call it.
A governor a thought.
No.
Anyways.
You were calling the governor a talk. Mention his name in there so that we know who you are talking to. And he speaks volumes of even them. Itemize the particular situation. And also, get your research right. Because we've had cases where EFCC will not go back to amend charges and do all of that and all of that. But there's another twist to it. Some people are also claiming that, the car was probably a decoy. That can we be able to prove beyond reasonable that the governor was even in that car? That's another twist to the conversation.
The EFCC left there and they have put out a
so we are hearing all sorts of things. Because there was another
to
story to corroborate the fact that some news outlet was reporting that the governor's phone was sometime in Kogi and all of that. That how are they even sure that it was through the aid that they track him there?
No, okay. The story has it that the guy, Buba Galadima once said that whenever they issue a warrant of arrest or whenever you know that they want to arrest you, do not just make sure you are not with your phone, because DSS and whoever, they always can track you with your phone. But those same people cannot track the bandit. They cannot track the kidnappers with their phones, but they can track you whenever you are innocent and they want to track you to disgrace you. So in this case, He outsmarted them and left his phone in Kogi. Now went into Abuja, but eventually the story has it that they tracked him through the phone of his aide, right? So that's where we are. So when you look at it, you say, but many people are saying, well, what can you going to say? This is a nation where we tell people to off their mics. I mean,
That is okay.
But let me explain.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Let me explain.
It's okay.
Now.
It's okay.
You must not.
so in this case, there is nothing more to explain. But one thing we will not do here is to off our mic. We can't. We can't. Now, so many of you who are, who have joined us this evening, I say, please, thank you once more. If you want to use the comment section to know let's know where you're watching us from. And moving forward, we will endeavor to be doing every day 7 o'clock stream. Tomorrow, I will be having a Friday hangout with, I don't know, many of you have watched, I don't know, you may have watched that video from Dr. Philip Njamanze, the man who said that the federal government, by the phone that they shared to farmers in 2012, that Boko Haram used that phone to track and kill over 300 farmers, right? And as a result, replace them, the seed that they've been given, replace it with the GMO. The allegation is wild, honestly. The allegation is wild. So join me tomorrow, 7 p.m. I will be having a one-on-one conversation with him here on Njenje Media. Hot as it is hot. 7 p.m. tomorrow, we'll be having that conversation. Now, on another plank, some people now on the social media has it that if on every single day, if they don't have any run-ins with Peter Obi name, or they won't trend. You know them. Some of them are what we call the IDPs, internally displaced politicians. Some of them were in Party A before they moved to another party eventually, and they keep doing what they do. But nonetheless, what we know is that they say the man who God has blessed, there is nothing you can do about it, On another note, I will share a link here. Please, 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 can you click on that link on category 4 and vote for Njenje Media? There, obviously, there is this contest ongoing by COPDEM, that Coalition for Democracy. They are looking at people who have, in the last election, put so much effort in ensuring that we get things right, even when we believe that things didn't go right, but at least efforts were put in place. So if you're able to, please click on the link and vote for Njenje Media, because we dedicated our time during the court process, during the election, after the election, all the resources that we can muster, we did our best. So please help us get on the link there. So the link will shortly appear. So let's go back. Apart from this, no matter what, from EFCC, it is official, until arrested. Yahaya Bello, the former governor of Kogi State, is now official a fugitive. If you see him, call the police to come and arrest him. Okay, so let's go on the second news here. Let's hear what Oji Okbe has to say.
Causing concern among the citizens of Kaduna State. The assembly went further to state that attempting to obstruct the law functions of the state assembly. The Kaduna State House of Assembly wants to reassure the good people of Kaduna State that it remains steadfast in its commitment to serving without fear or favor. Threats and intimidation from anyone, including federal lawmakers, will not deter the Kaduna House of Assembly from its pursuit of justice and accountability. The Assembly remains resolute in its mandate to provide checks and balances and uphold the rule of law in Kaduna State. You know I'm coming to you. I mean, this is a federal lawmaker threatening. The other time it was Bashir El-Rufai.
Yeah, I was going to say that we're praising him.
We were praising him that he was
himself.
But now we are seeing.
So I think maybe there are levels to these things.
Yes.
So the governor, he would distance, but with a speaker that according to...
You know, the small stout in Kaduna, that's the former governor of Kaduna State, the son, once more had gone on the rampage, threatening people, threatening the speaker. You know, there are things when you watch them, you think, I don't know what these people think or drink. I don't know, you know, whatever they smoke, right? But it's not for me to obviously put much, you know, chook my mouth in it. I have what concerns me. Now, what concerns me is that Peter Obi last week was in America. He was in London. Me now, I have, because of the heat, I left Nigeria. I went to Portugal to spend some time. I'm going to upload some video so that you guys can see how we roll. So when he came to the UK, I flew in from Portugal. I came into UK with my good brother and friend Balami, Isaac Balami. You can go to my, if you follow me on Twitter, you can see. So this is the picture there. You can see Peter, you can see myself at the back, you can see Isaac Balami and Daniel Olumba, right? So we had fantastic conversation. Now, I can tell us free of charge, the obedience, get ready. Something is cooking. I'm so excited about it. Don't ask me what. But that's on a different plank. Now, if we come back to the original theme here, which Arise TV discussed, let me not give you the hint, but listen to this. Then I can let you know my input here.
Of shame, and it is irresponsible, especially for a federal lawmaker. And I do hope
the probes will continue. Yes, we'll take another story. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 elections, Peter Obi, has explained why Nigerians need to return to the parliamentary system of government. Peter Obi made the comments at a lecture at Harvard Law School in Boston, Massachusetts on Tuesday, April 16th. The former Anambra State governor said that Nigeria needs a parliamentary system of government where the president can communicate with citizens at least once a month. Let's take a look before we come back for a discussion.
The presidential system, as we operate in Nigeria today, you have a bad leader, and he stayed there for 4 years. While you have a parliamentary system, we can move a motion of no confidence within 2 or 3 years. And again, if we have a parliamentary system, the president will be a member of parliament. Today, if he elects me as president of Nigeria or governor, I can remove myself entirely from being answerable to the people. Just like a gang of lunatics talking rubbish every day. While if it is a parliamentary system, during the president's question time, he has to answer. He doesn't have to hire anybody to speak for him. A president in Nigeria can decide not to talk to anybody for 1 year. And nobody cares. Because
are you guys getting the drift? A president in Nigeria can decide not to talk to anybody. Is it not happening? We had President Muhammadu Buhari, or rather, better call him General Muhammadu Buhari, the general that saw war and ran under the table. The general that I consider a man of sanctimonious, bogus integrity. His integrity is bogus, but he would appear sanctimonious. Yet he was petroleum minister for 8 years, and the highest corruption in this land, even with Barrow. Suddenly, the number of the liters of petrol we consume in Nigeria ballooned, and no one was held accountable. whenever he spoke to us spellingly, and they would think, oh, we should start jubilating that he's speaking to us. Tell me why a I mean, those of you in America, obviously where we borrowed this nonsense we practice, you say that your president, most times, even when he walks like a robot, you know, and very frail and fragile, yet he still speaks to you. He still addresses the press, right? He still takes questions. Those of you in the United Kingdom, your president, your PM, your prime minister would attend the prime minister question time, at least weekly. If you wish to listen to him, you tune into the BBC, you listen to him, where they hammer him with weekly questions regarding policies and the things he's doing. But our own, you go into office, we have elected a demigod. Declare your assets. No, 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 no. Yaradua did it, so it's not impossible, right? But here we are. You know, why he was advocating for parliamentary system of government is very simple, because parliamentary system of government would now make it much easier, even if when you run, you don't want to address the press. When that parliament, the PM question comes in, there is no way and there is no hiding place. Therefore, you can.
They have hired all these people who will be talking. If you say anything, they do this. So we need a parliamentary system where the president will be a member of parliament, will be at least one, even if it's once a month. Answer the people directly. Because we didn't elect all these gangsters. We elected somebody. And we want the president to talk to us. Not so to us, to somebody else.
Oh, Dr. Bassi, we need lunatics and gangsters. go ahead. Over to you.
No, the languages, I mean, you know, Nigeria will make you, no matter how civil you are, when you are passionate about these things, no matter how civil, at some point you really need to use certain words, because you kind of feel frustrated that the things you're saying is not entering. No matter how eloquent and whatever you can be, even those that are over eloquent and very vivacious, like my friend here, you know, this one would obviously.
Before I go on, let me postulate from the Franz Fanonian dictum.
So is frustrated. So now, if I now take this, if I take this now as sorry, hold on. I think for some reason I'm having an echo in the feedback. Okay, so you can hear me now. So if we take this and we understand that the reason why he was pushing for that is actually genuine. I mean, at the end of the day, we can actually do a one tenor. But let me allow these guys have the
Look, part of the attempt to find a solution to the crisis we have in our politics in Nigeria has been, you know, interest groups, interested persons, politicians, saying that perhaps we need to take another look at the system of government. And that's why recently there have been contributions as to whether it should be parliamentary, which we had in the First Republic, or we should stay with the presidential system of government. This was also one of the major issues during the 2014 National Political Conference. So it's not an issue that will go away. Some people even recommend a combination of both. Some people recommend a confederal system. However, to go straight to the point Mr. Peter Obi was making, he was saying that, look, simply, that a parliamentary system of government will make room for accountability. Because if you are the prime minister, you'll be a member of parliament. You are just first among equals, as they have in the United Kingdom. Now, he talked about spokespersons, although he didn't name anybody. He referred to them as lunatics and thugs who abuse you when you try to make a contribution. But that in a parliamentary system, the prime minister will be accountable for himself. We see Prime Minister Rishi Sunak during prime minister's question time. So nobody is coming to explain for him. He will be the one to explain. Absolutely. So I get that point, but Mr. Petrobi is a presidential candidate. I mean, when it comes on people, lunatics and thugs who will abuse you, I don't want anybody to start imagining that they have lunatics and thugs in the Aso Rock presidential villa. Well, don't name anybody as lunatic.
He knows who he's talking to.
Don't be the one. Don't mention names.
He knows who he's talking to.
Don't mention anybody.
I'm not saying I don't know anybody he's talking to.
I think it was general.
He has left it at the level of innuendo. Just leave it at that.
But I don't think it's about the system.
They know themselves now. The people the people he was talking to know themselves now. So they know themselves. But anyway, let me allow Rufai. Rufai, okay, go on.
System of government.
Yes.
I think it's about the accountability that we have in government.
All right,
and the way it's being practiced.
All right.
The fact that you have presidential system of government, but they made electoral debate mandatory.
All right.
Why is it that all the candidates, top candidates, did not debate, even including this current president, did not debate in the last presidential election, and we allowed him sail through? So we need to make presidential debate mandatory and those conversations mandatory in the first place. So it's not about the system of government.
That's another advice.
Whatever
We'll
system of government
story.
is also about the human being.
Yes.
All right.
The average.
Well, Oji, guys, when you if you start demanding that we make electoral, debate as part of our electoral system, I know some people what they will say. The one we have now. So I mean, obviously, that's what it's going to tell you. So do you need more of? Obviously, you already know where things would head, but. On a serious note, and finally here, people, if you see Yahaya Bello, reporter, go and tell them that you have seen him. Maybe something good is awaiting for you. On this note, I say thank you very much for joining me. But for those of you who haven't subscribed to this platform, please, if you subscribe now, many of you watching, please just click the like button and subscribe. Share with others, please. And in the comment section, do not forget to click on the vote. Vote for us, vote for Njenje Media on category 4, the media group or media personality. Please vote for Njenje Media so that will encourage us to do what we like doing. On that note, I say good night from here. I am still Mazi. It's okay.
La 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 la.